This is Issei Sagawa. He may look like an ordinary Japanese man, but behind his innocent appearance lies a dark and disturbing reality. Issei killed the woman he admired, had sex with her dead body, and ate parts of her over several days. But the worst part is what happened next. Even though he openly said he did these terrible things, he was never put in court to be judged for his crime. Instead, he became famous and made money from what he did. Even though Sagawa committed a terrible crime, he has become strangely popular in Japan. He has been on TV, written books, and even acted in a weird movie about his life called Cannibal. His case has led to discussions about how we treat criminals with mental illness and how the media can make crimes seem more glamorous. What made him want to kill the woman he admired? Why did he have a taste for human flesh? How could someone who did such horrible things never go on trial and even become famous for it? Issei Sagawa is known as the Kobe Cannibal. He was born on April 26, 1949 in Kaizu, Japan. Issei Sagawa was never mistreated or abused by his parents. He was born into a wealthy family and had an easy life. His only insecurity was being small and weak due to a health condition, making his legs look like pencils. As a shy boy, he spent a lot of time at home, where he developed a love for books. And at a young age, he began to have cannibalistic thoughts. In first grade, he looked at a classmate's legs and thought it looked delicious. He wasn't homosexual, but in junior high, he became interested in healthy, beautiful white women, especially actress Grace Kelly. His fantasies went beyond just kissing. He wanted to bite their flesh. At 24, his obsession with white women grew. He followed a tall German woman home, planning to cut a piece of her buttocks while she slept. She woke up and caught him, and the police charged him with attempted rape. His father paid the victim, and the charges were dropped. 3 years later, Issei was studying literature in Paris. He often brought home prostitutes, trying to shoot them, but always froze up. His failed attempts only made him more determined. 5 years later, he met the woman who would change his life forever. Rainey Hartvelt was a 25-year-old Dutch woman who was tall, beautiful, and kind. She was very different from Issei. Issei wanted to take advantage of Rainey's good energy, so he made a plan. Issei invited Rainey to his home, saying he needed help with a poetry project. When Rainey was reading the poetry, Issei shot her in the neck with a rifle. Issei fainted from the shock, but then he woke up and decided he had to do everything. Issei did terrible, disgusting things. First, he had sex with Rainey's dead body. Then he used a knife to cut parts of her body. He ate the raw or cooked flesh. He also took pictures at each step. When the body started to smell, Issei put the remains in suitcases and tried to dump them in a lake. But the police caught him in the act. Issei was held in a French prison for 2 years while waiting for his trial. But his rich father paid for a good lawyer, and the judge said Issei was mentally ill and could not be tried. The judge ordered Issei to be locked in a mental institution instead. Issei had waited 32 years for this moment. He thought he could finally satisfy his awful unspoken need by doing these horrible things to Rainey. But in the end, he was never able to stand trial for his terrible crimes. The story of Rainy Hartveld's tragic death and Issei's terrible actions is a disturbing one. It shows how someone's mental illness and dangerous desires can lead to unthinkable violence and cruelty. Even with his wealth and connections, Issei could not escape the consequences of his horrific actions. Instead of keeping Issei locked up and getting him help for his terrible urges, the mental hospital only made him more famous. This happened because an author visited Issei, talked to him about his crime, and then published a book about it in Japan. Through this book, Issei became a celebrity for the exact same horrible reasons he had committed. The publicity from the book likely influenced the French authorities to just send Issei back to Japan. When he returned home, Japanese officials looked at him again and decided he was mentally okay. Since the charges were already dropped in France, Issei Sagawa, the man who killed and ate someone, was completely free. Not only that, he embraced his new status as a famous person. In the 1990s, Issei was invited to be a guest speaker, write books, and even appear on TV shows. One TV show even had him prepare and cook some meat dishes. Shockingly, Issei even did some adult films where he would bite the body of his female co-star. Throughout all of this new fame, Issei never felt ashamed. Instead, he was proud of what he had done and was making money from it. In an interview in 2011, Issei was asked if he would eat someone again before he died. He said, "The desire to eat people gets very strong around June when women wear less clothes. So yes, I still have these desires, and I specifically want to eat a Japanese woman this time." He said even more disturbing things, but they are too graphic to include. Allowing Issei Sagawa to be free is like spitting on the grave of the woman he killed. Just imagine how her family must feel about this. It's crazy that he was ever declared mentally okay. He needed serious help, but he never truly got it. Worse, the justice system and society enabled him by letting him be famous and enjoy the attention. However, Issei did face some consequences later in life. No one would publish his books anymore, and no company wanted to be connected to him. So he couldn't get a job. He was even prevented from going to his own parents' funeral. Issei suffered from many health problems, had at least 2 heart attacks, and had to be fed through a tube in his stomach. He was in a wheelchair and never got married. He lived a very sad life, but he remained unrepentant about his crimes and claimed to still have cannibalistic desires. On November 24, 2022, Sagawa passed away at the age of 73 due to pneumonia. The story of Issei Sagawa is a disturbing one that shows how a broken justice system and a fascination with a macabre can allow a dangerous criminal to become a celebrity. Even though he faced some consequences later in life, the fact that he was ever free and able to profit from his horrific crimes is truly shocking and upsetting. What can we learn to make sure something like this never happens again? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. And if you have had any scary encounters, share your experiences with us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Fear Flicks for more videos like this. Thanks for watching and see you at the next one.